Okay, so I haven't watched pro wrestling in forever. Like, I don't know, at least 10 years. Because I got tired of the same stuff all the time. And, um, so recently I was like, well, let's see what AEW is like. Because I've heard some things about it that were pretty good. And so I watched it. And I watched the pay per view. Being in Japan, I have to use other methods to be able to get to it. And so I watched Double or Nothing, and I have to say, some of the things that the wrestlers in AEW do are so much better than anything that Vinnie Mac has done in since the Attitude Era, I want to say. Because, Randy Orton and John Cena weren't exactly, that, charismatic or anything. They were kind of meh. Um, but then you have all these, like, other wrestlers, like the younger guys, not even the older guys, not even like the Brian Danielsons or the CM Punks or anything like that, or the Chris Jerichos. I mean, like, the younger people, and something like, you know, the people who were supposed to be, like the next, big thing in WWE, and they just kind of disappeared. Where here you got this roster of so many great, like younger um wrestlers around, and then you have people like Sting and Christian and all these other people who are, mentoring these people, like, well, formerly Goldust, Dustin Rhodes. It's there's something about it that's different, and the like watching a guy like Keith Lee bouncing off the ropes and jumping over the top rope is his stinking size. Jesus. I mean, it's a different level. This is stuff that you don't see out of, the wrestlers in WWE at all. And another thing is they don't treat, the tag teams just like a secondary thought. The tag teams get, like, back when it was the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and the Hardys, having their tag team wars. That was the only time I can remember in the modern era of WWE where tag teams actually meant something. And that disappeared once all of them, left the company or they got fired or whatever. Now, the thing that got me about this pay-per-view was the Anarchy match, the 5v5. Okay. It was brutal. And I'm not going to really spoil the results or anything like that, so don't even worry about that. I just want to talk about the match itself. Is that, it was one of... It reminded me a lot of the old, like, the mid to, well, up to about maybe 97 or 98 ECW. I mean, it was a war. And I, like, haven't seen anything like that in a long time. And just the sheer violence of it was just absolutely incredible. I mean, they brought out a board with stinking barbed wire on it. How often have you seen barbed wire in any wrestling since ECW folded and got, morphed back into WWE? I mean, it's just, the level of insanity that match was. Like, I didn't even care about the final match, which is CM Punk versus Alan Page, the heavyweight title match. That match was boring as hell compared to the Anarchy 5v5 match. that match was just nuts. And then the three-way tag team title match, ooh, that was great too. Like, they just have so much good talent that gets ignored because Vinnie Mac and you know, Triple H and them have their you know, things that they that they want to do. But honestly, I think if you want to watch American pro wrestling, it needs to be AEW. I mean, it's just that simple. Like, they have a lot of different shows going on at once, which is kind of hard to keep up with stuff, but the talent is so, you know, like, it's it, like, from top to bottom. I mean, there's some, you know, low level talent that's kind of meh, but and there's some mid range talent that's kind of meh too, but that goes with any, you know, pro wrestling thing, right? But this, oh my god, just the overall average of everything. And then you have, you know, like, you do crazy stuff like a 5v5 match that's an anarchy match, that's a street fight that, you know, all, like, the only way to win is submission or pinfall in the ring, and people are like walking through the concourse, you know, fighting and getting bloodied, and you know, it's just, oh, that this is the last, this is the first time I've actually been, you know, like, wow, I missed watching wrestling. Like, it was that good. Just, oh my god. So I just want to shoot that for a minute. Nothing special of a video, but you know, if you can get a chance to see Double or Nothing, you need to watch it. And like, the first match was kind of disappointing with Wardlow and MJF. I was looking forward to that match, but it ended up being kind of boring. So I wasn't too happy with that match, even though I was looking forward to it. That 5v5 though, Jesus Christ, that match was just insane. So if you get a chance, at least watch the 5v5, you know, Anarchy match. It was just that good. And I don't, you know, I'm not this like religious, you know, wrestling watcher or anything. I used to watch it. I used to watch WWE a long time ago. I've been to Raw the day after WrestleMania. I mean, there's things I've done, right? But I've gone to a couple house shows here and there. But this was something different. My jaw dropped at how good that match was. So at least watch that match. You can skip the heavyweight title match. Don't even bother with that. That's once you've watched the Anarchy match, you're not gonna want to watch the title match because it's just so boring. But anyway, I just wanted to get something together and talk about what my impressions of that, because it was just so good. So anyway, see you in the next video.